Thanks for joining us again. We're going to be talking about squatting today. Again, one of our fundamental movement patterns that we really spend a lot of time on. It's been, again, we're talking to Brendan here, being a coach here for about 6 months. Been working on the squatting pattern. Obviously it's Squat-tober right now, so you guys are doing a lot of squatting. Pretty fun stuff. All right, so everything falls right back to the hip hinge. Just see where the hip hinge, how much it plays an important part of the squat, because you got to be able to touch your toes first. So knowing that Brendan can now touch his toes, let's go ahead and just check it real quick again. Go down, he's gonna reach down to his toes, there it is, money, all right? So we're good. We're like, I know he passed that test today. If he couldn't do it, then again, check out the link. You can see how to get yourself to touch your toes in about 20 seconds. I have guys who haven't touched their toes in literally 20 years be able to do it in just a couple of minutes. So feel free to check out that. So the first thing we're gonna do is, Brendan, we're gonna work on just the squat pattern. So the difference between a squat and a hinge, squat involves yourself moving your hips vertically. So you're gonna drop his hips down, where a hip hinge is moving your hips horizontally in this plane here. So the first movement we're gonna have Brendan do, since we know he has the toe touch, we're just gonna go right instantly into a goblet squat. And the reason why I want to actually, even before we load him, we're just gonna do a bodyweight squat. Let's just see how he is. Go ahead and face the camera here. Let's go get your feet about shoulder width apart or so. Ideally his feet are gonna be pointed straight ahead, but he can turn them out a little bit, that's okay. And just go ahead and do a regular bodyweight squat. Good, come back up. Now let's go ahead and do that, but face me. We're gonna do that same thing, and I want you to kind of hold that bottom position. Go down, so you can kind of see where that back happens, right? Okay, now with some of the similar pattern, we're gonna come all the way up. Okay, you gotta remember, he has very long legs, so very long femurs here. Torso's kind of short, so he's gonna have some issues at the low back as he's trying to get around this hip. We're gonna help take that low back out of it by giving him some assistance, meaning he's gonna use the weight to help activate that anterior core. Let's get his feet a little wider as well, just so we can create tension even more so. I'm about shoulder width, there you go. And it's getting that right foot in, just attached, so it's even with the left. There we go. Now once you grab that kettlebell, we're gonna try to break it in half through your arms. You're gonna feel that core start to work. You're gonna go down. All I want to see is those elbows, the outside of the elbow, touch right inside your knees, and I want you to press your knees apart. We're gonna start from the side first. Go ahead and go down. Good. Come chest up some more, breathe. We're gonna have him sit here for a little bit. We're gonna really work on that breathing. Good. Let's go in and add some bicep curls to it. So we're gonna extend it out, come up. Again, the further he gets the weight away from him, the more core he gets involved. Good, go and stand all the way up. So we're gonna do that again, but this time we're gonna do press outs. So go on the bottom, elbows inside the knees. Again, we're always getting that checkpoint, press it out, and come back. There we go. Let's go about 5 reps. And then come up tall. And I want you to see this again. This is all live right here. We're looking at how his body's going to do it. Go back down again. I want you to notice his torso starting to become more upright. Go down again. And we're basically looking, I like to see this angle, this shin angle, even with his torso angle. Go and do press outs again, get that chest up. There we go, focus on breathing. Breathe out as you press out. Good, go and stand all the way up. There we go. Now let's just do reps, just 5 reps up and down, check. So just gonna go touch the elbows inside the knees and right back up. There we go. So again, we just warmed up that squat pattern. Good, this is the fundamental movement every human has to be able to do at some point throughout the day. So anyways, how did that feel when you did that? Pretty good. Starts to feel a little easier, right? So we right away, yeah. So instantly now, let's go and face me, hands out in front of you, because I'm gonna have him counterbalance. Go and get your feet about shoulder width apart. Perfect. Let's just do a bodyweight squat again with those hands out, but don't think about getting too low. Think about being controlled and spreading the floor out as you go down. There we go, right back up. So now we're gonna see what's happening here. It's not as pronounced anymore. He's not getting that deep flexion in his spine. It's staying pretty good, that's good. Back up. So ideally, to load him with this to a bilateral squat, the next step I would have him do is actually do more front squat type patterns, just because that's gonna keep that core activated more on the front side. That activation helps keep his posture upright. So we're gonna be done with bilateral squats, because again, I'm a big fan of unilateral work. And the reason is we can really work a lot of tissue on just one side. Again, like we talked about it in the previous video, all sports happen on one leg. So So because of that, we're gonna train it split squat pattern right now. So let's take this little pad here. I'm gonna demonstrate first. I'm gonna have you put one knee in front of you, about, let's get your feet about shoulder width apart, knee, foot. I'm gonna have you kind of lean forward. And with that lean forward, I'm looking at the shin angle being even with my torso angle. You're gonna grab your weight. Again, we're gonna hold it up in front of you, that goblet position. Again, that automatically turns on that core. Leaning forward, driving straight up, coming right back down. Breathing out, breathing in. All right, so you're gonna feel a lot of load in that front leg. Yep, so before you grab, so go ahead and grab the weight. I'm gonna have him just hold it. I'm gonna walk from behind. I'm gonna make sure his hips are in line. So what I wanna see, yep, there it is. I want his right hip even with his left hip. So if I look across the backside, it's completely neutral. Good, go ahead and bring it up again. Hold that position, stay weighted in that front foot, front heel. Breathe out, drive up. Good. You're a little too wide, go ahead and go back down. I want you to bring that right foot in front of you a little bit more. About right here, there we go. Now stay loaded in it, create this arch, breathe out, stand tall. There it is. Now you can see he has a little more balance here. Breathe out, good. So the main checkpoint I'm watching is making sure his knee stays in line with his toes, making sure his foot doesn't collapse, also making sure his foot stays straight and his hips are level. Good. Going to go all the way down. Let's just switch sides real quick. So same exact thing. Again, we're getting him on that back toe, creating stability from the back ankle, creating stability from the front foot, knees driven out, hips, let me make sure those are aligned. Yep, hips look good. Breathe out, stand tall. Good. Right back down. Again, up. Good. One more. There you go. Good. How'd that feel? Pretty good, yeah. So bilateral squat, goblet, right into a unilateral squat with the split squat. Again, this is kind of the precursor to a lunge, right? A lunge is just taking your weight forward, coming back, or it's taking your weight from the front to the back, coming right back up. So those are the simple movements that all involve basically a knee dominant pattern into that squat pattern. So we're gonna work on my next favorite one, which is a step up and also a single leg squat using the box. So the first one's a step up. If you look at this from the side, leaning up, and you see me come upright and tall, this is basically a single leg squat. As I come down, or it's a split squat, right? But now I'm changing my elevation by driving through the box, standing tall, coming right back down. So I'm gonna have Brendan do that. We're gonna, again, same thing, add a little bit of weight. Again, the reason for the weight, it's not necessarily, it adds a little bit of a challenge, but it's really more to activate his front side, his anterior core. He's gonna lean into that box, he's gonna breathe out heavy, and then come right back down. So just like we've used in previous videos, we've used the floor as a stability point. Now we're using the weight as a stability point. So lean into the box, sorry, into the foot. Make sure this foot's pointed straight ahead. Perfect, knees driven out. So we're creating that arch. Breathe out, stand tall through the box. There you go. And breathe in, go down. But when you go down, I want you also to control the speed, all right? Same exact thing. So breathe out, there we go. Now control that speed. And let's do the same thing, but try not to push off the back foot. Air all the weights through your front. There you go, a little different, see that? So it's not a pop off the box, sorry, pop off the floor. It's a drive to the lead leg. So what I tell a big cue I use for clients is think about pushing the box into the floor as hard as you can as you stand up tall. So push the box through the floor. There it is, good. Try the other leg now, same exact thing. Think about that foot. Again, same checkpoints, hips, foot, knee, it's all the same. Posture, and breathe out, stand tall. There we go. So that's a lot better there as you get more clean in that leg. Breathe out, stand tall. There it is. And keep that tension in that foot. It's the most common thing we see with people going and turn and face, we'll have you stand here, facing the camera here. The most common thing we typically see with this is, especially as somebody's going down, slowing down, eccentric, is the knee wants to collapse in, their foot wants to drive out. This is a common pattern when you see somebody jump, right? They'll land like this. So again, we're still trying to work on that pattern. That's why everything, especially on the downside, should be going slow. Let's try that again. Let's just do one on each side. Stand up tall. Now really emphasize being heavy in the box. There you go. Go and switch sides. Same thing, drive into the box. Stand tall. Good, now go down nice and slow. Really control that load. Good, perfect. Put it down. So now, we just worked on the step up. We're basically gonna do a single leg squat as a step down. The way I like to teach this, you know, so you may have heard of it like as a pistol squat or other types of movements like that. So I'm gonna have them start here nice and tall, leg off to the side. And again, my whole goal is keep my hips level throughout the movement, not reach and touch the floor. Reach and touch the floor means I have to drop my hip. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna lower my body down from my hip, get as far as I can with control and stand all the way back up. Again, as I warm up, I can start getting a little lower down and right back up. I'll show you from the front side, just so you kind of see what's happening with the knee. Whoop. Dropping down, controlling that knee and hip. Again, my knees are driving forward, which is completely fine. I'm loading up my quad, loading up my ankle, and I'm finishing tall. All right, Brendan, let's have you start that out. I'm gonna have him do it on a lower box. I'm not trying to see how deep he can go. I'm really trying to see is can he maintain his hips during this whole movement. So get nice, so go ahead and start tall. Here, yep. Make sure that foot's straight, that right foot, turn it in a little bit, perfect. And just think about keeping your hips level and just lowering from the hip, not trying to touch the floor. And I want you to flex this toe up as well, there you go. That's it, perfect, stand tall. And I'm gonna have him use that. So do that, exactly what you just did. Go down, tap your heel on the floor, light tap, and then engage through the box, stand tall through the box. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. Controlled. Good. I'm gonna do it 1 more time. Keep your knee into my hand. And up. Good. Let's go and do the same thing on the other side. There it is, foot straight. Perfect. Can keep those hips level, controlled, there it is. Good, I want you to really think about those hips. This is the harder side, right? That left leg, we've already seen that in our other exercises. 1 more time. Down, 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 pause, back up. There we go, so I didn't let him go all the way down just to really fight that glute. How'd that feel?
Much better on the right side.
Yeah, so you can kind of see the patterns, but it's definitely starting to catch up now. That's all it usually takes. So a lot of times, all this stuff really becomes nervous system things, right? We're just teaching the nervous system how to do the movement that he's done it. It's been a long time, or he's done it and not done it right in a sense. So again, we're trying to just reteach all those positions. So as you go through your program, you're trying to really work on a squat pattern. Again, it goes beyond just doing this, right? All sports are on one leg or in a split stance position. So if you're an athlete or if you want to become a better athlete, training on one leg is going to be more beneficial to you than just doing regular bilateral squats. All right, so one of our favorite exercises that we do to really build single leg strength is called the rear foot elevated split squat. It's something we like to kind of really, the reason why we like it so much, because you really emphasize the lead leg, the load leg. So to give an example, again, you can use a box. We actually have a little device that you just put underneath the ankle on the backside. A bench works, whatever you have to get that foot up. But again, our goal is to keep the weight on the lead leg. So I'm gonna get down here and make sure I can not touch my shin. I'm gonna get down here, I'm gonna start from the bottom. Leg is on the ground, my chest is up. I'm loading the heck out of my lead leg here. Everything's through my lead leg. I'm gonna stand up nice and tall. I like to even add a little twist, I'll show you from the side, into that glute, and then I stand up tall and untwist. I'm gonna show you that from the front, and the reason is the twist emphasizes that glute in terms of the way the glute is shaped, right? The shape, it goes from here and it goes down and across. So we're actually gonna put stretch against the glute as we do the movement. So I'm gonna get down, I'm gonna pause on the ground, I'm gonna rotate my shoulders, my torso into my left hip and glute. That automatically brings my knee out, creates an arch. I breathe out, I stand tall, and I unwind myself at the top. I wind myself back in, unwind myself at the top. So I'm using that glute to stretch and to drive from the position I need to go. Or again, once you feel that burn there, then you can just go straight up and down. So we'll leave you with that. Some of my favorite exercises to do: single leg squats, split squats. You got the rear foot elevated split squat, goblet squats. Again, those are all the squat patterns. Stay tuned for a lot more of our videos. We're gonna have a lot more coming out in regards to mastering these movements that we really spend a lot of time on with our clients. You know, it's a journey. It can be sometimes up to months, years, just to get proficient at these movements. So stay tuned. Smash the like button right below so more people can hear about us, see these videos. Subscribe to our channel. We're gonna be launching these videos on a more continually basis. You can select up top and see some of our other past videos that we've had. But thanks for joining us today, and live life beyond the gym walls.